everyone, it's Violet. And yeah, hello everybody. This is a super quick little intro I'm doing for this very random re-upload actually from my channel. So I'll make this as quick as I can, because I'm a big rambler. I've tried to film this intro like a billion times. So just get to the point, girl. So this is a re-upload of a live stream I did with my dear, amazing friend Kevin Falk. We did this back, I believe, on February 26th of last year, 2023. I believe that was the date. Hopefully, I got that correct. If not, then whoops. This is a re-upload of a live stream we did together talking about the HBO concert special of The Weeknd's live at SoFi Stadium. And I was talking about how this was the official end of Chapter 7, Dawn FM era. This video was initially removed from my channel pretty quickly after we had streamed it together. I wanted to re-upload it again, just because Kevin and I will officially be doing a live stream discussion together about the So Paula show happening on September 7th. I can't wait. That's an understatement. And so we're going to talk about that show together. We did do a live stream discussion when we saw the MetLife Stadium show of this tour together, back in July 2022. And so I figured I'd upload another, more, live stream or just discussion that Kevin Falk and I have done together about Abel and the Weeknd and stuff like that. So that was kind of like the main inspiration, and Kevin gave me, his blessing, and he was like, please do this, it'll be awesome to re-upload this, and I was like, cool. Yeah. Yay. Some of the reasons why I wanted to re-upload this is because, back when this was streamed and stuff like that, I was like pretty like afraid to make YouTube videos back then. I've talked about this a little bit before in some older videos back from like December and January, if people want like some more context to what I'm trying to mean by this exactly. I just wasn't just comfortable being on camera and just being myself. And looking back, I think it's a cute little video, and I want to upload it, and just kind of just be like, hey, like, look at me now, and like, look how far I've come, I guess, and honestly, like, a lot of reasons, like, the main reason I really want to upload this, to just be totally honest with everybody, is this is the only piece of content I still do have like downloaded and archived that I can re-upload, because I did do like a few other videos where I had the shaved head, the shaved hair, that are officially gone from the channel. But yeah, this is the only real piece of content that I did for my own channel, where I had a shaved head. This is a very random fun fact about myself, but in February 22nd, 2022, at the really early beginning stages of my transition, I decided to shave my head. The look and aesthetic I really wanted to go for was like a shaved head kind of look, and I did that. And February 22nd of 2022 was a crazy day, because I remember I got my hair like fully shaved, and I look at my phone, and it's like, hey, Daft Punk is going live on Twitch to stream the whole thing of Alive 1997 soon. And that was incredible. Like, I got home and I had like Dunkin' avocado toast, and like I was watching it was amazing. It was great. So that was a great day. I didn't really make any videos in 2022 really, besides doing the weekend concert stuff. And my hair was kind of growing out a bit around then. Last year on February 22nd, 2023, I decided to shave my hair yet again. This is basically right after that. And that's a very important part of my journey, and how, and the woman that I am becoming today. I really, really like, that version of me, like, I get a bit emotional thinking about it, but like, in a lot of ways, like that version of me really helped get me to this point today. And I don't regret shaving my hair 2 times. I think it's badass. And I think women who have that are like the coolest freaking people. And so like, I just want to at least have something on my channel that has that kind of, content aesthetic of me, and so yeah, so that's that. So that is that. So that's quickly what this upload is. So I hope anyone who watches this enjoys this. Again, it's from February 26th of last year, 2023. So enjoy, and I will see y'all again very, very, very soon. Alrighty, bye. Woo. Welcome everybody to the ending of the Dawn FM era with The Weeknd live at SoFi Stadium. I'm here to talk about it with my good friend Kevin Falk,
Yes.
who I saw the show for the first time with at MetLife Stadium.
It's crazy that's gonna be a year in like a few months.
I know, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, no, we're here. So do you have anything you would like to say before we get
Um
started?
Very excited to be here. But I will caution all of you and say I probably will not have much to contribute to this. I think Violet is probably going to do most of the talking. At the risk of sounding redundant, I just don't have a lot to really contribute, but always glad to be here. Love doing these videos and excited to briefly talk about this.
Yeah, yeah, no, totally, totally. So yeah, so here we get into it. So yes, this is um, the way that I think about it, like the first thing that I think of, is I think it's just really cool to hear like an HBO concert special because like
Yeah.
HBO concert specials like back in the day used to be like a really like big thing and like really
Hmm.
cool and like concert specials in general, and like also like concert movies and stuff like that. I always think are like really really cool. So it's just like the fact that the weekend finally got one is just absolutely amazing, especially for this tour. I think it's fantastic. Um, and yeah, so that's just like the first thing right off the bat I want to get into. But to get into like the actual concert special film, whatever you want to call it, Kevin would absolutely kill me for calling it a film. But I saw a Letterboxd review that said like cinema like you've never seen it before, like referencing Every Angel is Terrifying, which I thought was very cute and funny. But yeah, so I mean, we just watched it. It just came out like 2.5 hours ago. But man, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the thing that like struck me the most. Like, I don't know how like you feel, but like what the thing that your takeaway from it most, because like we're speaking from people who saw the show live.
Yeah.
We did not go to this final date at SoFi Stadium, but
No.
um, like just seeing it so much more like it still had like the grand scale of it, obviously,
Hmm.
because like it's like a stadium show and like like the wide angles of like the crowd and stuff and just like capturing like the scope and like the hugeness of like the city on like the main stage and stuff like that. It captured that, but to me like what was so striking about it was like just like seeing the more like intimate feel of it with like getting close up where we're like with Abel and like the dancers and like seeing like the lighting cues more clearly, and stuff like that, and just and like noticing like little details that like yeah I didn't really like notice before, like specifically like I knew about it but like I never really like got to like really see till now so clearly how the stage like lights up,
Oh yeah.
like there's like lights in it or like screens in it. Like I never ever really picked up on that. And like that's just for like an example. And also there's certain like details of like the main stage, like the city, there's like certain like little details, like things like light up actually. Like I never like noticed like this like actual like lighting up. And then obviously there's the obvious like fire stuff, but obviously we can tell that from just all the footage of it and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, like that's just the thing that like stood out to me the most. Was just like being able to like have that like intimate experience with it, but yet experience it again like so grandly. Like what was like what did you take away from it that you didn't take like from seeing it live?
Honestly, what you just said was like my main takeaway, like getting to see things more like up close. It felt like you got a grander sense of the show. Like for example, I remember we talked about the mask and things like that, that he
Mhm.
starts out with. To
Yeah.
be honest, I really wasn't able to see it all that well from where I was sitting. Like I knew he had a mask, I knew it probably looked really cool, but actually getting to see it and things like that really made me just appreciate that opening like that much more when it came to like the background dancers, the aesthetic of it all. I agree with you. It felt more intimate in that way. Not like it didn't when we were seeing him,
Mhm.
but because of where we were sitting, it was kind of like we were watching it from further away. This time around, it was much more like close up. It felt more like we were on the outside looking in at the concert. This time around, it felt like you were right there, like you were right there, like in the front seat, and you could see like everything. And I thought it was really cool the way they were able to capture that.
Yeah, no, to piggyback off of the point with like the mask, because that's actually one of the things I was going to mention when I was going to
Yeah.
get to like the more I guess like precise details about it. But also
Mhm.
first, I guess first off, we're gonna get into the mask. The opening of this is interesting, where like it has like the CGI like visuals of like the city and stuff on the stage,
Yeah, that was really cool.
and like flames are coming up, and then it cuts to like a shot of the dancers like standing around like the mask and like this little like I think it was
Yeah.
like a glass like little capsule kind of like thing. And then like and then it cuts to like the moon and like lowers and the concert starts, which is a really cool like transition.
It would have
But
been kind of cool if they showed like the like construction of that set, because I remember when we were at that concert, like watching them set up everything like after like as the opening acts were finishing. It was like really cool the way they were doing that. So it would have been cool if they kind of started out with that, you know?
yeah, obviously like like concert movies and specials can like kind of like vary in terms of like for example, I don't know why this is the first thing I think of, but I think of like the Justin Bieber and Katy Perry Paramount concert movies, where
Yeah.
it's a cut in between like the like behind the scenes like the concerts and
Hmm.
stuff, or you have the straight up stuff like this, or you even have stuff like Metallica for the Never with like a narrative and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it's in
I
front of
was
you.
kind of hoping we get like some behind the scenes stuff with that. That would have been cool.
Yeah, no, it would have been cool. We did get some cool like there was like a I forget the production company, but I believe that one of the production companies that did, I believe, like the sculptures and stuff for like the city landscape stuff,
Hmm.
did a YouTube video like explaining like the process of like building those and stuff like that.
Ooh, okay.
So
I'd
I'll
have
have
to
to
look
try.
into that.
Yeah, I believe there was something like that. I'll have to try to find it and send it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it definitely would have been cool to see stuff like that. But uh, yeah, no, obviously, I love what we got.
Yeah.
The thing with like the mask that was so like interesting is like, um, just like being able to like be so like up close and like see like
Hmm.
the details of while he's like singing and stuff, and like the lower part being this like kind of like thinny like material so he can like breathe through it and
Yeah.
like sing through it, and just like I don't know, it's just like so crazy just like seeing like details like that, because like when you see it live, like you can't, like it's just you see it's like a mask and stuff, but like you
Yeah.
get to see like the details, like just stuff like that. For example, I find like really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
yeah, and also like I also like just like um another thing too also is just like the close ups of things too.
Hmm.
Like when they do close ups of like people like walking during like certain like transitions between songs, and like you get to see like the more like up close like what the lighting cues were like around him, or like I guess you kind of like also like one thing too that I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm just trying to explain like noticing things more.
Oh
One of
yeah.
the things that I don't know how you feel, because like specifically when I went to the Gillette Stadium show, like I was like second row, so like I obviously noticed like the dancers because they were like in front of me a lot of the time. But
Right.
the one thing that like admittedly didn't really like pay attention to too much until watching the special was like the choreography of it all. Because like when I saw it live, like admittedly like I was focused so much on like the weekend and like
Yeah.
what he was doing, and like one thing that like I never even noticed, just for example with the dancers, was during Crew Love, and they focus in on this during the concert special, is when they do the little like piano keys during Crew Love, the dancers like start like falling down to like the rhythm, and like when the
Oh yeah.
piano
That was
keys
really
happen.
cool.
I never noticed stuff like that, for example. Like that was just like so cool. Um and obviously like another thing that I never also noticed was during like what was it I feel like coming, that was the last song, or like the main runway before he went to like the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never even like noticed how like the dancers like slowly start like walking. Like I know that's like an obvious, like that's just something like just stuff like that. Like I just never like noticed.
Yeah,
Um
I will say I did
mhm,
notice that,
yeah.
but I feel like this one I noticed it even more just
Mhm,
because of like the way, like the scope of it all, the way they
yeah.
captured it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like especially where we were sitting, it was easier to like focus on um Abel himself than the dancers, because the
Mhm,
dancers were like all the way over here, meanwhile Abel's here.
yeah.
So it's like here it felt more like, again, you were just able to get a better sense of everything.
Yeah, no. And I love the little details too with the dancers too, and like I don't know if I'm like interpreting this wrong. But when the Sacrifice Swedish House Mafia like remix starts, when like the dancers start like walking towards him, he does like the hand signal thing. Like I don't know if you noticed. Like I love like stuff like that. Like I thought that was great.
Yeah, I'd have to
Uh,
I'd have to I'd have to rewatch it because I didn't pick up on that. That's actually really interesting though.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cute. Like there's just stuff like that, and there was like specific other things like I think I'm forgetting. But obviously like I was picking up on like so much, and like I don't
Yeah.
know, yeah. But yeah, no, I just really love like just be able to like analyze like the movements and like the dancing more because obviously like you pay attention, you notice at the live show, but like
Oh yeah.
obviously I'm mostly paying attention to what the Weeknd's doing. So just kind of being able to like
Mhm.
hone in on it more when it's like you have to focus on it. Like I thought it was like really really cool. And yeah, no, and again, like I've always felt this with the dancers, like the red outfits, obviously, like they come from like inspired by like the Sacrifice video and the Dawn FM Amazon Prime experience thing,
Yes.
and just like they're just gorgeous, and like I'm gonna also be truly honest, I don't know what they mean, I don't know what they're supposed to represent, I have no
No.
clue honestly. I know there's people that are smarter than me out there that will know, but like I honestly I'm
Probably
I'm
like
kind.
his followers or something like that.
Well, the thing is, like, obviously, like, Dawn FM is about why am I forgetting how to pronounce purgatory? Is that how you pronounce it? Why am I forgetting?
Purgatory, yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'm just
Yeah.
like maybe I just was being stupid for a second. But so obviously, like, I think there's sort of like like sort of sort of like a follower kind of like demon angel kind of thing going. I'm not explaining that well at
Mhm.
all, but I'm doing a horrible job of explaining that. But
You're
so
doing great.
but yeah, no, yeah, and another thing too that just being able to like analyze it also so well was like the song sequencing.
Yeah.
Like I always like admired that when I saw it live, but like one thing I really got to say is like yes, like it did take a lot from his Coachella performances of Swedish House Mafia.
Mhm.
Um, but I also really do feel like everything was really sequenced really well, like in terms of like
Yeah.
song feel and like song structure. Like I always like kind of joke, he kind of does like all like the really toxic songs like in like the middle of the set list.
Yeah.
Like after like Hurricane, it goes from like the hills, and then like it goes all the way to like Party Monster and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like I kind of like that's sort of example he does like those kind of songs like in that like
Yeah.
chunk of the show.
And in the context of like the Dawn FM era, you could see that as like him kind of like reflecting on like his past self, and then the ending is like him like fully coming to terms, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
If we
So
really want to get like, story wise and things like that.
no,
Abel's
no,
all about his stories.
but that's valid though because the Weeknd said before this tour started that like the tour like the structure of it and like there is like a meaning behind it. Like it
Oh yeah.
isn't just like like
It's not
choreo.
random.
Yeah, like it's not like random, and like the choreography like means something and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists do that. Like I'm not acting like the Weeknd's the only one that does that,
Oh yeah.
but like obviously like, there is a meaning there, so I don't think the fuck I should all to say. Um, and yeah, no, like like I also like to go kind of like what everything means. Like I love the ending so much when like
Yeah.
he slowly walks with like the dancers like up into like the city, and like and then he's like left there like by himself, and he like looks out into the crowd, and like it's the end
Yeah.
of the show, and then he walks back into the city. I think it's absolutely like it's gorgeous,
Hmm.
and it's fantastic. I guess to get more into like the actual concert special itself, I loved the editing of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was
I
really well edited.
I love how during like certain like drops in the song, or like beat drops, just to use that term, like it would like go to like a wide angle of like the crowd and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And it's just like you get to see like it kind of feels more like huge and grand. Um,
It
and then
felt
also
very like fly on the wall. Like it was almost like you were a part of the audience in that way. And
absolutely,
I think it was really cool the way they were. And now again, not saying this is like the only concert movie to do that. Like good
yeah,
concert movies do stuff like that.
yeah,
But I
absolutely,
think just the way they were able to capture the full experience, and also just how much the crowd was eating up every single thing that Abel was doing, like how our audience was. I thought
yeah.
they just did that perfectly.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, personally, this is I don't know how like you feel, for example, but I don't want to see like too much of like the crowd itself and like these concert specials.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was personally happy that like there's barely any of that.
Yeah,
Um,
it was just enough, I feel like.
yeah,
Like
I I I
they
think
it
so
was
too.
more for like when they panned over to the audience, it was like I feel like it was more for like the atmosphere
Mhm.
rather than, oh my God, look at all these people, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And obviously, like it's a stadium show, so it's like so huge, like that imagery.
Yeah.
And yeah, and everything too. The cinematography, like that goes also obviously into my point of like the editing and stuff, where it like cuts to like the wide angles, but the cinematography, obviously, like
Oh my God.
you have a lot of limitations when you're filming like in a stadium show. Obviously, a stadium show gives you
Mhm.
like the most like opportunities because of how wide everything is, on how like expansive the space is.
Yeah.
But it's still like there are a lot of limitations there, and I thought they did a really nice job with the cinematography. Like you get a lot of those like intimate, like more like close up moments where like you're right there with Abel. You get
Hmm.
moments where like you're able to see like certain parts of the stage that he's occupying and like taking like sort of like attention there. And then also like for me, I don't know what you, but the highlight of the whole performance every time I've seen it is the after hours performance, like the title
Oh
track.
yeah.
Um,
Especially
especially the
like the
first.
call at the end and whatnot. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, no, it's like I obviously like I've mentioned this when we did our MetLife Stadium review, but like that moment at MetLife was the most emotional moment of my entire life. It was absolutely crazy, and so every time I relive it, even if it's like from the SoFi, one of the SoFi shows, it's still just like it impacts me, and I got kind of choked up, and I was like, "That's so beautiful." But the
Yeah.
thing that really got me is obviously every show like he cuts at like the ending and has the crowd sing it, but when
Hmm.
they cut to like the camera like behind him when he like lifts his arms up and like has the crowd start singing it, I was like, that's an incredible shot.
Yeah.
Like I was like you see the whole view of like what he's seeing and like having the crowd start singing and it's just like sort of like the epicness also of like like from like behind like the silhouette. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like that's like incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And yeah, no, just to get this some talk, and also like it's a hard show probably to film because of the lights. Like
Hmm.
there's so many like LED lights and just like it's crazy. And everything too. If anyone hasn't seen this yet, I'll just say there's a few parts where I feel like they could have given like an epilepsy warning. Because like
Yeah.
those lights are really flashing in some shots, like where it's like the angles are at, like it gets right to
Yeah.
like the direction of
Especially
it.
during the that like little like transition they do in often, and then the music like
Mhm.
gets all like either the thing they keep doing with the music.
Yeah, yeah. No, during Sacrifice, I was like, there's like one part where like it was really intense because like it's
Yeah.
right on the main stage and the lights are coming from there mainly.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I was like, wow, like that's intense. I just to kind of warn people if they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But it's a hard show to film also for that just because of like the lighting of it all and just
Yeah.
being able to get like the focus right and like the details right and like capture everything without like messing up like anything like that.
Hmm.
And that's another thing too. Also, like to the people who did the editing on this and the post production work after this was recorded, really good job. Also, like mentioned with the editing, but also like the color timing of everything looks gorgeous.
Oh, it looks so
Um,
good.
it looks stunning. So imagine. I wish this was in 4K on HBO Max because that would have just been like the cherry on
Yeah.
top of like how gorgeous.
Waits patiently for the 4K Blu-ray to come out. Make it happen, David Zaslav. You know you can do it.
Literally make it happen, David. Make
Um,
it make it happen.
the one
Um,
thing I was gonna say that I don't think we've touched upon that I thought was actually really cool was I like that they picked this specific concert to be the one that they filmed because Abel says about midway through the show this is the last one of the first leg, and it kind of felt a little bit more special in that way because it's like
yeah.
this is going to be the last one he does for a little bit. You
Mhm.
can tell that he's really enjoyed getting to perform all these songs, and you can just see the utter joy on his face, but also kind of like the feeling of satisfaction when it's done. It kind of brings this it kind of brings this sense of it brings this sense of heart that I thought was really good because it's like, oh my god, this is like one of the last ones this is like the last one he did of the first leg.
Absolutely, I agree. Another thing he also mentioned too was when he said that he thinks this is the best date, the best performance, and just like the best crowd so far.
Yeah.
So I'm sure for him this was like the date for him to
Yeah.
do. Besides maybe like the MetLife one or like one of the ones in
Mhm.
Toronto. And yeah, no, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. That's an excellent point.
Yeah, I thought
Um,
I thought that was really cool. I was like, okay, this was actually like they picked the perfect one to because I remember when we were seeing the concert, I thought in my head, how cool would it be if they were able to like film one of these and like it get like an HBO, like it get like one of these kind of specials. And
mhm.
when I saw that he was doing SoFlo, I thought that was interesting that he picked that one. But hearing him say that, I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, SoFi Stadium is a gorgeous, gorgeous venue.
Yeah.
So obviously like I totally, and like it's Los Angeles, and there's just something like it's in Inglewood, like there's just so much just like
Yeah.
culture there and like atmosphere there, and
Mhm.
it's totally a city like made for the Weeknd's music.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And yeah, no, that's a great point. Absolutely. Um, yeah, no. Were there any like specifically for you, like were there like any like songs that watching it like back, like performance wise, that like you were like, oh, like the performance of this all was like I never like I didn't like pick up on like appreciate it like the way that I do now, like when you saw it live versus like seeing it here. Like was there any like
Um,
songs?
Not necessarily like I didn't appreciate this as much. It was more just like, oh my god, I forgot how much I enjoyed like this particular performance. Like for example, Less Than Zero. I remember how I felt when he like
Oh my
performed
god.
that. I
Yeah.
remember how I felt when he did like The Hills, for example, like
With
stuff
the
like that.
fire.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, stuff
Crazy.
like that. It
Crazy.
just it wasn't so much that it was like, "Oh, I didn't really appreciate this as much," because I generally like appreciate like the entire concert. Um there wasn't a single one that I don't think I fully appreciated. But this one just kind of reminded me of that feeling when we saw it together and just how much I enjoyed getting to see him actually perform these concerts and just how surreal it felt.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I will say, to kind of piggyback off of that,
Mhm.
um, because of the fact that this was the second time seeing it, I felt like I was able to enjoy some of the performances a bit more because it stripped back. I've already had that surreal experience where, oh my god, I got to see him live. So now I can
Yeah,
just kind of like
yeah,
focus on the
yeah,
performance itself, and I feel
absolutely.
like that made it all the more special.
Yeah, no, that's another good point. One thing too that I would love to say as a point, because obviously, like we're comparing a lot of this to like seeing it live versus here. But one thing I do want to say
Yeah.
for people who didn't get to attend this or haven't attended it yet that have watched this, because it's like Europe's coming up in a few months during the summer. For example, this is an absolutely fabulous way to experience it. Like
Oh yeah.
I really like feel like obviously it's a unique feel and it gives a different like feeling and experience that you would get than seeing it live. Because like even I like when I saw it for the second time, second row, like I did not. It was like there are parts of where like it felt more like intimate than it did then, and more like
Yeah.
up close and like in huge at
Yeah.
points, just because like you're just right there.
Yeah,
Like it really it
it's a different feeling for sure, especially if
absolutely,
like
and
he
it's
was
not like a
sitting like
bad
where we
feeling,
were.
yeah.
No.
So people who like didn't get to like experience it, like this is a fabulous way to experience it.
Yeah.
Obviously it is a little bit unfortunate that HBO isn't really like available. It was in the places besides the US and Canada. That's unfortunate. Because I have had some people who watch my channel comment on that. And I wasn't even thinking about that honestly. I was like, damn, that actually is a really good point. So
Yeah.
hopefully like there's a way that this can be distributed a bit more. I'm not really sure how like HBO and like Warner and like like handle like distribution and stuff like that.
I don't know. That's probably like a
Um
weird licensing thing.
yeah, but yeah, no, but for people who like haven't seen this or haven't or have aren't gonna get the chance to see it live, this is a fabulous way to experience it.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job
Yeah.
doing that. It's so like crystal clear and just like the detail and like just you get the same like imagery of it all. There's certain like moments that like are more striking than when you
Hmm.
see it live. Like for example, like when like Hurricane starts
Ugh,
and like Abel like walks into like the spotlight and it's like all dark and like you just see him in the spotlight and then like
it was a great
slowly behind,
shot.
yeah, it's a great shot, and then slowly behind him like the city lights up and like that bluish like color and the fog starts coming and the smoke starts coming out, and then it cuts to like the hills and the fire starts with like the smoke. It's like that's actually something that I surprisingly never noticed as another detail I never
Hmm.
noticed, was the smoke coming out of the buildings in the city. I thought it was just like fog or something. I just never really noticed it. But it's
Yeah.
so brilliant how it goes from like the smoke and then like the fire when the hills happens. I'm like, that's great. And yeah, no, it's just fantastic. Was it Faith or the title track After Hours where like the fog started happening when the song started? Do you remember?
I think it was like towards the end of Faith into After Hours. I could be
Yeah,
wrong though.
yeah, it was something like that. But like that's another really cool detail.
Yeah.
just in terms of like those like pyrotechnic kind of things that
And that's the
yeah,
other that's the beauty of getting to watch like a concert special versus like actually going to the concert, is that those details are so much more amplified because you're
yeah.
able to, you're able to see it more. You're able to pick up on things that you didn't.
Yeah, another thing too, and I'm surprised I haven't mentioned this yet. The sound work and the sound mixing. That's one of my favorite things about
So
filmmaking
good.
and stuff like that. And I was very interested in how this was going to be mixed and stuff. Because like, usually like professionally like recorded like concerts and stuff, like they kind of like try to maximize like the music and have like the crowd sort of as like this like surrounding atmosphere kind of like piece, or like, something like that. And they do that they hear really really well. And there's so many like things that um you pick up on like sonically that like you don't really like the first time that like, or when
Mhm.
you hear it when you hear it live. Sorry, I didn't word that correctly. When you hear it like
Yeah.
live, when you hear it live in person, especially the synth work, because they add so much layering and extra sonics and stuff, like just stuff like the After Hours title track, to Save Your Tears. I was thinking of like, why am I blinking out on one of the thing. There was like some other song I was specifically thinking of. Oh, Call My Name. That's the one. Call My Name.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like they just add so much like extra like just like mood to it, and just like epicness and grandness, like the synths or like the guitars and stuff. One thing too is like I loved hearing like the guitar and stuff, especially like the morning, like just like the live instrumentation. You get to really
Mhm.
like hear here. Because one thing I'm not sure if people know, but like he still has his live band. I think they perform like underneath the stage.
Yeah,
Um,
probably like in a pit or something.
yeah, no, that was honestly my only real complaint with the show. Is I think he has an amazing live band, and I wish I could have been able to like see them. But
Yeah.
obviously, like, if they're fine performing, like, that's obviously cool with them. Or I think the behind the stage, I'm not sure exactly what it was. But just being
I
able
don't
to,
think the thing is, I don't think there'd be room for them with the way it's set up.
yeah, that's the thing. That's a good point.
Because you
So
have the dancers like on the other side of
yeah,
the stage, and
yeah, that's true.
like
Hopefully
where
for
do
his
you put
next tour,
them?
they can figure out something.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm
but
sure he could like coordinate something, but I just
yeah,
think because of like the way things were set up, it just was
yeah.
probably hard to like implement them.
Yeah, no, totally. But like, I just love being able to like pick up on more like details, like, just saying like guitar licks and like extra like synth chords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also just like it's just mixed very well. Like for
Mhm.
example, like the Often performance, that like Sam Levinson and Mike Dean version, like it is so boomy sounding.
It is.
Like they did like it just sounds great. So
Yeah.
I mean they just did a really great job in general, just like capturing it for like an at-home audience with like just like the sound quality and just like the way it looks. Like it's really really well done. And just kudos to everyone who was involved with capturing and recording it, because obviously it's not easy. And the Weeknd does a fantastic job at like just like performing and just like giving them just like so many like great like moments to capture. And another thing too, like like just to give an example, is at the end when he does like the wooing, and like the echoing of that was fantastic. Like,
Oh yeah.
the example. So yeah, no. Is there anything else you'd like to add at all?
Not really. I think this was just a really well done concert film. Like I said, while I personally would have liked to see more behind the scenes stuff, I think sometimes this is really all you need. Especially again, we have to take it from the perspective of like somebody who wasn't able to attend the concert and wasn't able to have that experience that people, some people did. This is a really good way to kind of like make up for that. It feels very visceral, it feels very intimate, it almost feels like you were able to attend the concert in a way. And I think that just having this be solely just the concert really just showcases the magic of that show overall, and I think really kind of again makes up for the fact if you weren't able to go there, but also for those who were able to attend the concert, like us, for example, you're able to kind of recognize why it was such an incredible experience, but also pick up on things that you weren't able to before.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree, and you said it all perfectly. Yeah, no. I get the only other thing I guess I can mention in terms of things I like, or like things I feel like I can just remember off the top of my head. is I loved also the aspect ratio of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly it is. It might be like 2 by like 10 by something or 2 by 0 or something. I'm not sure
Mm.
exactly like what it is. But I really loved the aspect ratio because it like had like that like widescreen like look at a bit, but it kind of had like it actually gave it like a more of like a cinematic feel.
Would have been really cool if this was like a Fathom event or something.
Oh my god, dude, could you imagine this in IMAX?
Ugh,
Oh my god, dude, that would have god, that'd be so crazy.
missed opportunity. Missed next concert, Abel, please.
Yeah, no, or he should have. Yeah, it would have been cool if he did what Billie Eilish recently did, where she put her live
Oh yeah,
concert in.
fuck, I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, into to Dolby Cinemas and like premium theaters like that. That would have been really, really sick. So maybe next time maybe we should do that, in my opinion. But obviously
Yeah,
the trailer's great too.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I think that obviously I will admit I think there's some details that like admittedly I may be missing out on, but obviously it's just there's just so much that like I picked up on from watching this,
Mhm.
and like I think it was a really great experience, like experiencing it all again, and just the detail of it all. And it's it's always fun to just get new weekend content like this. And it's really great to be able to like share this concert experience with like so many more people again. Yeah, and I think just for just to not risk like rambling, I think we can wrap it up here.
Yeah.
So yeah, did you have any other closing thoughts before we wrap up?
No, this was a lot of fun. Thank you, of course, for having me. Always enjoy getting to talk about the weekend and stuff like that, and wouldn't want to talk about with anyone else because uh,
Thank
she
you.
is the reason why I can say I am a fan. I would not know I would not have nearly as much knowledge or extensive background or any sort of connection to the weekend if it wasn't for her. So I'm just very glad I'm able to come on to come on for these because it just feels that much more special, you know?
Well, I very much appreciate that. The weekend is obviously a very massive part of my life.
Yes.
And yeah, no, it's just like I take none of this for granted. That's actually, you know what? That's actually one more thing. We can talk about quickly because you're here for it. Since this is the ending of the Dawn FM era in terms of like content coming out for it. Do you have any like thoughts on that at all? Like with like an ending or just like how it compares to be like After Hours and sort of like a trilogy and everything's like connecting what you're looking forward to in the next chapter?
I think that this was by far his most introspective era. It really
Yep.
seemed like this was him really kind of like self-reflecting on his past and things like that. And the end of Dawn FM, it kind of feels like him kind of finally coming to peace with like how he can kind of accept what he did wrong, but also kind of move forward. And so I'm just excited to see what's next exactly. He's done a lot of self-reflecting. He's done a lot of like um, kind of recognizing his faults. So I'm interested in seeing what he's going to do next. Are we going to get more of like a more like uplifting Abel, or are we still going to get some like somber stuff? It's going to be interesting to see like what ends up happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's my thing is like I don't really know exactly what to expect from them. Really, like the only like thing I like personally I can really think of, um, just like off the top of my head in terms of like Don FM stuff that would have been great to get is everyone sang up in a Less Than Zero music video.
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been good.
yeah, no. So that would have been absolutely amazing. But one
Yeah.
thing too is whenever that album comes, like it's gonna be like, you know, I have like a feeling like it's gonna be like maybe his best work. I
Oh yeah.
just like I don't know what it's gonna like sound like really. He's working with Mike Dean, so I think it's gonna be very like atmospheric and very like grand and large and like a tacky
Yeah.
sounding. But like I also just like I just feel like it's just gonna like feel like a really just um I don't know how to describe it. Like I like because like I think about it in terms of like Dawn FM, like you go from After Hours Dawn FM, like that purgatory thing, and just like coming to like a new light, or like seeing like the horizon, like the reading, like like
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just gonna like feel just so like climatic, but in a
Mhm.
way that's like not like peaceful, like to like per se, but just sort of like it's like everything's like okay if that makes sense. And I think in
Yeah.
terms of like
Yeah,
music.
it's kind of like rejuvenating.
Yeah, I just feel like musically, The Weeknd can capture that feeling so beautifully. I really feel like it's going to be
Mhm.
a special album, whatever we get it. But yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I
So
think so too.
yeah, no. So figure anyone who listened to our ramble about Dawn FM in the next thing. Obviously, there's nothing to do with the special. But yeah, no. So I guess we'll wrap it up here. Yeah, no. Thank you to everyone who's watched this live or anyone watches that after. I always greatly appreciate
Yes.
my weekend content. So yeah, this is the end, the last piece of content in the Dawn FM era.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Feels like we just started.
Yeah, yeah, no. I mean, it's basically just as long as the After Hours era, technically. In terms of when
Kind
content.
of.
It,
Because
well,
After Hours was 2020, and then we had a whole year where he wasn't really
yeah,
releasing
but
things with Take My Breath.
if you like equal like the months up, I think the Dawn
That's
FM
true.
era was technically I think like 3 months longer actually. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
which is
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because we did have Take My Breath come out like in
yes,
2021.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, no, it's just been a great era. And this is a beautiful way to end it with the live at SoFi Stadium show. So thank you to everyone who watched our review on
Yes.
it. As again, thank you everyone who's been supporting the content in my channel and just all my endeavors during the Dawn FM era. Obviously, I didn't do like a ton of it, and I look forward to changing that in the future with more content. And yes, so thank you all for that. And with that, I wish everyone a beautiful night or whenever they're watching this, and day, afternoon, whatever, wherever you are in the world. And thank you again, Kevin, for joining me. And yeah, so we'll wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching, and
Yes,
have a
thank you
lovely
guys.
rest of your day, evening, whenever you're watching this, and take care. Much love to everyone. All right, bye.
Bye, guys.